Hey guys, my name is Dean. Welcome to MFY Yoga. In this video, I show you a chest and heart opening yoga routine for people who sit at a desk or work at an office all day. This video is being made for a friend of mine and member of the MFY Yoga Launch Group, Sheila. And Sheila is a sales rep and she sits at her desk all day making calls, looking at her computer. I'm sure like many of you, and even if you don't sit at a desk during the day, there's a good chance that you're spending a lot of your time looking down at a phone and ruining your posture anyways. So what I'm going to show you in this quick yoga routine is a few stretches that you can do with no yoga experience and that aren't that physically demanding either to help with restoring your posture and helping you kind of wind down and de-stress after a long day of sitting at a desk. So let's get into it. You're going to need a foam roller and 2 blocks or just something that you can rest your head on for this. So I'm going to have you sit down and then position the foam roller in the middle of your back. You're going to sit back on the foam roller, again, in the middle of your back. And then you're going to sit back, lowering your head toward the blocks, and put the back of your head on those blocks. Now, depending on your spinal mobility here, putting your head on 2 blocks might be super easy, and you might not feel a stretch at all, or it might be really hard. Now, if it feels easy, I'm going to have you move 1 block away, keep your neck nice and long, and to do this, I grab my head and hold it nice and long so there's no wrinkles in my neck, and then slowly release my head to the block. And then I'm just going to relax my arms along my sides, let my chest open up, let my sternum lift toward the ceiling, and I'm just going to stay here for a couple of minutes while I let my chest stretch and while I let my posture start to re-correct. If you're feeling lower back pain here, if you feel like a little unstable, you can bring your feet in toward your butt and lightly push down through your feet to help tighten your core. And that's going to make this a little bit more intense, but also provide a bit more support for your back. If you have the energy or you have the willpower right now, I would highly recommend making this a little more active and bringing the feet in and pushing down through your feet. If this is still easy and you want to get a little bit more, you can move the block and then go your head all the way down to the ground. But if this starts to hurt your back or you start to feel pinching in your neck, I would not recommend doing this. I'm pretty mobile in my spine, so this is easier for me. I don't recommend this for everybody. Definitely do not recommend this for everybody. And again, as you're doing this, you still want to stay active through your core. You still want to, if your feet are on the ground, lightly press down through your feet to keep the core active and not just be totally passive here. If you have the blocks up, if your legs are out and this isn't too intense, then you can be passive. But if you do have a significant bend here to your spine, significant arching through your spine, then I would recommend using being more active with your core and with your hips. All right, so that's the first stretch. And then you're going to come up and we're going to switch sides. Kaya, you're snoring. Don't snore. Next stretch is a bridge. So lay down on your back again, this time with no support. Bring your feet in toward your butt. Squeeze your thighs toward one another. Press down through your feet, and then lift your hips away from the ground. So the last one we did was actually working on your mid and your upper back. And here, we're going to feel this much more in the lower back. So I'm pressing down through my feet. I'm squeezing my hips in toward one another, so tightening my glutes, and lifting my hips up. Now, if you want, you can also use a block here. So we're going to put the block under the lower back. Depending on the depth of your bridge here, you can put it at the lower setting so that it's about 4 inches off the ground, and that will provide support as you kind of relax into this bridge position. Or if you want to make it a little bit more intense and you have a bit more spinal mobility, you can take it up all the way, so to the highest setting on the block, and then we get a little bit more opening. If you do that, you need to keep your core engaged, you need to keep your hips engaged. So even though this is a supported posture, you should still be using your muscles, you should still be using your hips and your core to help support you. Don't just let your body weight sink down into the block. That's not going to be good for your lower back. And again, just like the last one, we're gonna hold this for a pretty long time. I would hold this for a minimum of 60 seconds, and I would work your way up to 2 minutes. Depending on your intensity here, you can hold it for a longer time. So the point of these stretches is to help restore balance, and we're gonna get that by holding the pose for a longer time. So you wanna make sure that you're not pressing with the ultimate intensity, the most intensity that you possibly can do. Here you wanna find kind of a moderate intensity that you can manage and still talk and still kind of have a moderate, have a kind of a little bit of a conversation here, because that's something that you can hold for a long time. And we're gonna get our body back to balance and restore the posture by holding the posture for a long time at a lower intensity. All right, so again, still keeping active through my hips. You don't need the block here. If you wanna take the block away and focus more on active engagement, you can do that as well. All right, and then go ahead and lower back down. Okay, so we've done the lower back, we've done the mid and the upper back, and now we're gonna go up and do a standing back bend. So this is going to be a little bit more active. Now I also recommend, if you haven't done a back bend before, to use a wall. So I'm gonna show you first on the wall, and then we're gonna go away from the wall. So I want you to stand about 6 inches away from the wall. That's it, facing away from the wall. Reach your arms up and back, and then touch your hands, fix your microphone, and then touch your hands to the wall, and then slowly walk your feet out until you start to feel a stretch through your chest, while still being able to press down through your feet and keep your hips and your core active. The reason why I'm using the wall as support is because this is going to help me ensure that I'm keeping proper technique with my spine and with my core. The worst thing you can do in a back bend is allow your lower back to arch, and that tends to happen if you're new or if you're just doing it with improper technique. So using the wall at first is gonna help you get proper technique. It's gonna help you make sure that your core is engaged and that your lower back is neutral and that you're not arching your back. So this is step number 1. And then step number 2, we're gonna move away from the wall, and you're gonna focus on lifting your chest up and reaching up and back while still pushing down through your feet, still keeping your core tight. The biggest error that people tend to do here is they arch their lower back and their butt comes out behind them, kind of like this. And we want to avoid that because that places additional stress on your lower back. So keep the tailbone reaching down, keep your glutes relaxed, squeeze your thighs toward one another, and press down firmly through your feet as you hold the standing back bend. Again, arms reach back, and it's much better to just go up and look slightly up than it is to reach way back and have your neck collapse. So as you're doing the back bend, make sure that your neck is nice and long. You're focusing on height first, and then going for depth after that. Height first, depth second. And then the final posture I'm gonna show you is a puppy pose. And this is kind of a cross of a down dog and a child's pose, hence the name puppy. So I'm gonna have you get your 2 blocks, or if you don't have a block, you can use a bench press or anything probably in the area of 10 inches to maybe 2.5 feet to put your hands. Hold it place your hands about shoulder width distant. Bring your hips back, just like you're doing a child's pose. You can bring your knees a little bit further than you normally would for a child's pose. And then relax your head toward the ground. Your head might not touch the ground here. It may. If it does, great. If it doesn't, don't worry about it. If you want to provide a little bit of support so that your head touches the ground, get out that foam roller that you used before, or you can use another block if you just happen to have 14 blocks lying around. So here we're doing a puppy pose. We're working on stretching the shoulders and opening up the chest, but we're doing it a little bit differently from the way that we've been doing it so far. Done a lot of back bends so far. This is a way to open up your chest with a neutral spine. So this is a bit different, but also very helpful. And for this one, we're gonna hold for at least 30 seconds, make our way up to 45, 60, or even 120 seconds if it's feeling good and you're feeling like you're getting a nice stretch and your body continues to open. We also want to keep the core active here, so make sure that you're not, just relaxing your chest, but we want to keep the core tight. And actually, the tighter you keep your core, the more you lift your sternum up, the deeper the stretch you will feel in your chest. You're also going to feel some nice engagement in your upper back as well, which is equally important for correcting your posture. Correcting your posture is a combination of strengthening the muscles that were lengthened when you had bad posture, so strengthening your upper back, and also stretching the muscles that get tight when you're in that poor posture position. So opening up the chest. So opening up the chest, strengthening the upper back. That's what's gonna help with your posture, and that's exactly what this routine does. So guys, thanks for watching this video. Thank you, Sheila, for the suggestion. The Man Full Yoga DVD is coming out. Our next Man Full Yoga DVD is coming out April 7th. So if you're watching this video now, it's already live. You can learn more and get up to 40% savings at manflowyoga.com/yoga-strong. You can also just sign up directly for my Body by Yoga VIP list, and I'll send you the information directly at manflowyoga.com/BBY-VIP. Guys, if you're not already subscribed, take a moment, click the subscribe button, and you'll get continued access and continued videos on a very regular basis, 3 to 4 videos a week right now, to information about how yoga can improve your fitness, and also just stuff on improving your lifestyle and living a healthier lifestyle, living longer, feeling better, and looking great. That's all I've got for you today. Thanks for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.